Welcome to Josh Fralick's Addicted. So this week we're out at the Texas Three Gun Championship, sitting here on stage 6 on the rock, the notorious rock. So for those audio listener only, realize if you hear a little wind, I apologize. We're sitting in the middle of Texas on a rock that we shoot long range because of the wind, right? So I'd ask you to hang in and tolerate that as much as you can. This week we're hanging out with my buddy Shawn Nelson. Shawn,
how's it going?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
If you don't know Shawn is the mad scientist behind a lot of the cool content that we've been putting out lately, including this podcast. So, Shawn, you do a lot of shooting though too, right?
I used to, yeah. I used to do a lot of shooting. I still do like to shoot.
Yeah.
I miss it. But yeah, the behind-the-scenes part has been a lot of fun for me lately.
Yeah.
So it's taken priority, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, how many majors have you shot? Just to give them an idea.
Oh, since I started, maybe a dozen.
Okay, yeah. So I met Shawn originally maybe 5 years ago on the local Minnesota shooting scene. And I think even back then you were shooting bigger bore, like shooting heavy. Maybe.
Yeah, pump shotgun.
Yeah,
pump
that's
shotgun.
right.
I had everything for heavy except the 308.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You were the pump shotgun guy.
Yeah,
That's
well,
right.
we had tactical shotgun matches.
Yeah.
And it was always fun to play with that, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're not familiar with the Minnesota shooting scene, in Minnesota, up until maybe 2 years ago,
Yep.
we had a super heavy tac shotgun series that would go on in the summer. Like you'd have 3-gun one weekend, you'd have tac shotgun the next, you'd have a big USPSA pistol match the next, and every weekend you had something cool. And tac shotgun was one of those things. And man, I miss that.
I do too. Yeah, it kind of fell off with the Nordic Tactical Shotgun Championship.
Yeah.
I think we just have too many shooting opportunities.
Yeah.
And too few volunteers or people with enough bandwidth. I don't want to say too few volunteers because we have quite the crowd.
Yeah.
But the ability to take on that many disciplines of shooting and run it, that's a lot. So
yeah, it is a lot. Yeah, well, so now you're on the other side. Now you're not pulling triggers, you're pushing buttons.
yeah, putting shutter clicks. Shutter clicks. Actually, it's not even that. It's video. It's video and audio. So yeah, that's been an eye-opening experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you like about it versus the shooting part? I mean, I know you like to shoot. Everybody likes to shoot that's probably consuming this content, but like, what do you like? What are you learning as we go through this stuff?
Well, so jokingly, it's a lot cheaper. Ammunition's expensive, but no, on the backside of it, it's like the people I met during the first years of shooting.
Yeah,
it really got me interested in telling the story. It's like just understanding the amount of time and effort people devote to the sport, which has no payout, right?
Yeah,
there's no gain other than building relationships.
Yeah.
Honing a skill set, that sort of thing. And I've always had a passion for composing stuff.
Yep.
Not being very good at it, right? With practice, you get better at it. So it's always just been fascinating to be able to put things together to help tell that story, I guess.
Yeah. I first became aware that this was one of your skill sets when you crushed that Hard as Hell video. Was that 2 years ago?
2018.
Yeah. So we should do a link to that on our show notes. And if you hadn't seen Shawn's Hard as Hell from a couple years ago, that was one of the things I was like, oh, I want to work with Shawn and do some cool content like that, because I want to tell stories.
Yeah.
So much we put out. We've been talking this weekend as we put together really like a what is 3-gun type piece of content. We're capturing all that video here at the Texas 3-Gun Championship, and so much of the content that gets put out for 3-Gun is like, hey, here's my 30 or 40 second run. Thank you to my sponsors. Here's my award. This is the coolest scope, which all those things are great. They are, they're great scopes. They're great guns. It's cool to win trophies. I do all of those things.
Right.
But I also want to do something that tells the story so that people can experience this if maybe they've never tried it. But that's not an easy task.
No, not on your own, right?
Yeah.
Not even with one person helping you out, but I think it's important. We do see a lot of the what
Yep.
But not so much of the why.
Yep.
You know, why is this working for you? How did you get to that point, right?
Yeah.
And it's more than just a product push or like, do this and you'll take first place. It
Right.
ain't that easy.
No.
It's like, what did it take? What steps did you take to learn that this was what you needed
Yep.
and why?
Yep. There would be a lot of people going after that top spot if you just had to cut a check.
Right.
There are
yeah.
a lot of people that
Yeah.
spend a lot of money on this sport.
A lot of us try, right? Like jumping divisions. I went heavy. It's like, yeah, it's going to be easy. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No, I know. No, I think that's cool. And you've got a history with doing some content in the hunting space too, right?
Yeah, that's where actually I developed the passion for videography.
Yeah.
Was with hunting, working with some local guide services out in Minnesota, just doing some local waterfall hunts.
Yep.
And what was really cool with that is you have no control.
Yeah.
And it was also frustrating too. You have no control about what's going to happen. You can't guarantee success.
Yeah.
And that's honestly what pushed me into competitive shooting into that space is guaranteed target opportunities.
Yeah, they're going to be there.
Yeah, they're going to be there. It is on you if you do not succeed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
hunting wildlife or chasing wildlife, yeah, there's a good bit of effort you can put into that, but you still can't guarantee that.
No.
With your bear video,
Yeah.
I mean, we went through that.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the bear hunt, Shawn helped me put the bear hunting content out. We just put out the goose and duck hunt opener from Minnesota here, and both I thought were pretty neat, and they were actually kind of both ends of the spectrum, right? So spent a week and like 30 hours looking for one bear, shot the bear, which is great. Got to eat some amazing meat, and I'm eating it, a little bit each week now. But then on the contrast, the duck and geese, we limited out in like 3 hours, and there's birds flying everywhere.
Which has not been normal in my past.
Okay.
I mean, that's not a given. That's not always a given. But it was a phenomenal, not even morning, it was a day. It was a midday hunt.
A midday duck hunt.
And it was awesome.
Yeah. So I'm pumped. So far it's been real fun because, this is the life I live. Like the Addicted TV and the Addicted podcast, typically they're just like, this is what I do, and I'm just sharing a sliver, right, with the world. And that the response to that has been, hey, I'd like more of that. And until we kind of connected and had a good conversation about what we'd like to do here and what we'd like to do with this, I wasn't sure really how to do that. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, 9 months I didn't have a podcast. Because I'm going, just the stuff that you did in the last 10 minutes, putzing around with mics and that kind of stuff.
And it's still not how we want it. But
I know.
Yeah, it's just, nothing's ever easy. Nothing worthwhile.
No, I know. But it allows me to potentially put out a lot more of what I would call polished content. Stuff that if it was one of my colleagues, I'd consume in a second. Like I'd want to watch that. If Jerry or Dylan or Adam or Ruben or if they were putting content out that was like of this on hunting and on 3-gun, and, like I want to watch that content. And so I'm going, okay, like we can do this. I'm learning from you going, hey, we actually have to come back at like 7:00 tonight when the light's right and we have to redo this. Which I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But no, it's cool. It's fun. What did you think of this match? Like Texas 3-Gun Championship 2020. How was your experience here? Anything surprising to you?
Yeah. Well, first I regret that I agreed to come with you because I didn't have guns. I mean, I wish I could have shot this match.
Oh, okay. So that's why you regret that?
Yeah. From what I've seen, it's like I should have been registered now with a camera. It's there was a lot of challenges. And I got to experience from an observation point, like what people ran into. It's like, man, it's difficult for sure.
Yeah.
And it's just the fun challenges, though.
Yeah.
Like knowing your dope. The fundamentals is really what I saw a lot of the breakdowns.
Yeah.
And I think we're in October, and this is probably the first or second major match for a lot of the people out here running into issues. But
well, the fundamentals and rifle dope were my challenges.
Yeah.
I shoot long range, like 4 days a week. Not a lot, like 100 rounds when I go out. But that means I'm running like 3-shot drills for 100 rounds. I get like 30 drills in in like a 45-minute time period. And any target at my house I can hit like bam, 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 just hammer them.
I've seen you do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I came out here and I crushed a long-range stage. But on most of the long-range stages, I had a couple of makeups. And I'm calling good hits. And I'm going, it's a mystery. It's like black magic. You come to Texas because I'm going, is it the fact that there's elevation? I'm shooting up, I don't know, maybe 100 yards of elevation along with my 500 yards.
Yeah.
Is it some cyclone of wind that's blasting?
Which we saw that.
Yeah, we did.
With the missed hits, the dirt would spiral up. It's like, well, what is going on back there?
I know. And so the most I could do on most of those is it's like, well, call a good trigger press, call a good sight picture. If it's not a hit, do it again. Just like, I do know the dope. But like, one of the things that I was thinking about is that at home, I'm shooting probably about the same size targets that we shot here. And being on target in Minnesota with no wind and no elevation is probably not good enough to be on target with elevation and wind in Texas. And so I'm probably going to shrink the targets by about 30% on my home range before I come to a match like this.
Yep.
If I'm in Wisconsin or Illinois or Indiana or something, it's like, whatever. I just, I just went 1-for-1 in a 600-yard bay in Illinois last week.
Yeah.
It's a bay.
Yeah.
There's no wind, there's no elevation. So, those challenges, and I was lucky enough to win my division.
Yeah.
And I still had all those issues.
Yeah. Yep. It's, that's crazy. But to get back to the match, I mean, the match was run great. I know they were a little behind on part of the schedule, but given the complexity, and it wasn't overly technical, but it did push people to their limits probably in some aspects. And they were phenomenal stages. Like there was nothing here that I looked at that'd be like, oh, I would absolutely not want to do that.
Right. Yeah. No, I really like the mix of fast burner stuff up close, difficult target presentations on some long range stuff. Some tough slug shots, man.
Yeah.
80 yards on a 1/3 IPSC.
Yeah.
Like, okay. And that was like one of 6 targets that were slug hits on that stage. So, and then you talk about getting tired on your feet, right? When you're in bays all day, it's pretty easy to shoot all day, no problem. When you're running up and down these hills that are uneven with rocks everywhere, trying not to fall on your face. I don't know, man. I was worn out. I am worn out right now.
I'm pretty worn out.
Yeah.
Just chasing you around. But the natural terrain too. We don't get this back home.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just, I'm going to shoot out there today.
Right.
We've got stuff to worry about at that kind of distance.
Yeah. Out here, they just chase the cows out. And then you can shoot. If we had that happen too. I couldn't believe the guy started honking his horn. It's like, what is that going to do?
And it worked.
Did it?
Yeah. The cows just they walked off the trail and away they went. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's good. Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
What about, like, the stuff that wants to kill you? I mean, we're in Texas. Everything wants to kill you.
The sun, the trees, the bushes, there's probably snakes under this rock we discussed.
There are, I bet. Yep.
Now that it's cooling off, this is where they want to be, and hey, that's where we set up. But this was a cool rock, so
yeah, this is like the iconic rock of Reveille Peak Ranch over the last couple of years. That's why I wanted to sit up here. I just thought, what a cool background, what a cool place that eats lots of people's lunch.
Yep.
Good spot to just sit down, chill out, and have a conversation. You got a little ant issue yesterday, huh?
Yeah, I thought they were fire ants, but I've been instructed they're not. And it turns out it's a bad idea to stand not knowing where you're standing
that's
while you're filming. Your head's down in a camera. And what I thought were sandburs, because we have those at home. It's like, how the hell did I get a sandbur out here? Like, I'm standing still, and then all of a sudden it's like the other foot's on fire. It's like, what is going on? And I look down, and they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And they dig in.
Yeah.
And I think I had the drone up at that point.
Okay.
So it's like I can't just drop the controller and panic. It's like I got to power through. It's like, oh, man. But, my ankle swelled up, and it turns out they were just red ants or something. Just halfway angry ants. They didn't really want to kill you, but they still hurt.
Everything wants to kill you.
Yeah.
These rocks want to kill you. That cactus, we got within 10 feet, we got everything that wants to hurt you. I don't know. I love it here. I like coming to. I like to visit Texas. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I don't know how you Texans do this every day, but it's cool to visit. I like that.
I'm sure in a month I could reverse that statement too of when it's 30 below.
Oh, for sure.
Get me out of there. But yeah, the other unique thing about out here is how this far south with the sun, when it's daybreak, it's bright.
Yep.
Back home, it's like we're waiting a half hour to be able to see anything. And you're duck hunting. Usually opening morning, it's like the birds are flying, you can shoot, but you can't see what they are. Yep. It's so dark. It's like here they don't have that problem.
No, yeah, you're right. Yeah, we were sitting on the stage at the beginning of the day yesterday going, there's no way they start, in 14 minutes.
Yeah.
Sure enough.
And there it was. All of a sudden it's bright.
Yeah, you can see everything.
Yeah.
Right now.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, the weather too, just like a switch. Yeah. Chilly in the morning, got to wear a jacket, maybe even you wanted pants, but give it another hour and it's the exact opposite.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Much like Utah, too. So Utah, Sups Range, this place has got this moon dust.
Yeah.
This like crazy fine dust. This stuff here is just red. It's all over my gear. All my gear looks like from a 10 feet, like it's got a rust hue, kind of a patina. And I was really nervous all weekend that was in the guns. So I probably cleaned them a little bit more than I needed to. But like that's another obstacle. One of the things that you see up in Minnesota a lot, or you see around the country, is guys will come out with their 3-gun carts, right, with their guns sitting in racks or fully exposed.
Yeah, exposed bolts, open boats usually too.
Yep. Or on their UTV on the gun rack, and guns are just sitting there. And even here, they had gun racks on some of the stages that they were like, "That's your preload rack." I'm like, there's no way I'll put a gun on that.
No, not to let it sit, especially in the wind.
No, the wind's blowing all this fine dust. So I got to get a new gun bag, but like, cause one of my zippers is busted, and so the zipper was open, and I was setting it, but I was just trying to like set it the opposite way of the wind, so the wind wouldn't blow in it, and even still, just
still gets in there.
Yeah.
So
just little stuff, right? Like some of the stuff you learn as you go around the country. That like, all right, I'm just gonna have to clean my guns a lot more. I'm going to want to have my cardio game on the level.
Yeah.
You come to Texas and you do all these jungle runs. Got to know your rifle dope, You got to know what you're doing with those guns. This one was maybe a little less choke sensitive than previous Texas matches, meaning, I talked to a bunch of guys on one of the squads that I shot with for a little bit as we were kind of shooting a creative schedule. And they were like, no, whenever I'm coming to Texas, I just put a mod in. And I just shoot the mod the whole time. I'm going, I don't know if that's the right way to do it. But, like, it's not like some matches where it's like cylinder here, full choke there. It was a little bit less of that.
Yeah.
It was just kind of shoot the targets.
It seemed pretty uniform, too, on a stage where one choke was going to work well the whole way.
Yep.
Where other matches, it's like you've got one target that makes you have that doubt of, I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. The 24-yard popper that looks heavy.
Yeah.
It's like, and then you got a bunch of clays at 6 yards. Yeah.
Yeah. What do I do now?
I know.
Yeah.
No, it was a cool match.
Yeah, this was really cool to watch. I do want to shoot this next year after seeing what was going on. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you hang tight, when that content comes out from this match, I'm excited. I'm excited for that to drop. I think it'll be a really neat piece.
Yeah.
Just kind of highlighting Texas 3-gun, what 3-gun is in general. My thought on it really is, when I get a question from somebody that doesn't know what we're doing, normally I'll be like, well, it's speed and accuracy. I shoot an AR, a shotgun, and a pistol. And it's kind of like an obstacle course that you're shooting in. They're like, that sounds cool, but they can't picture it.
Yeah, you still get that just days of what?
With guns? Yeah. So my goal for the content is really like when that question pops up, I just go like, boop, pull that video up, and here's what we do.
There you go.
That's what I want. And so if you're sitting around and your father-in-law at Christmas is like, what is it that you do? You go and shoot guns with your buddies on the weekend.
Yeah.
Like you had to go to Texas to do that.
Right. Yeah.
Like you can go, okay. here's what we do, and show them.
Yeah.
Like that. I want it to be a tool almost like that. So I'm going to send that link out to people when they ask. They're, like, what's this 3-gun thing all about? Whoop.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think there's going to be a lot more cool content coming.
I hope so. I'm looking forward to chasing after it, at least. I can't promise results yet. We'll know.
Neither can I.
Yeah, we'll know.
Neither can I.
Yeah. But that's part of the story.
It is the story. Well, in the some of the most realistic parts of the story. I mean, fact is, I've had some heartbreakers of matches.
Mm-hmm.
I've had some heartbreakers of hunts. I've been discouraged. I've been bummed. I've been excited. Things have gone well. Like the full spectrum. All the way around. That's what life is, Life isn't just like, oh, you just win. You just stay up here on the winner's, line.
No.
Like, it doesn't need to stay down here either where everything sucks. But, like, it does do a little of this.
Yep.
And so my goal through the content is to just be real, right? Like, that's really how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I have a terrible match, I'm going to share that.
Yeah.
If I have a terrible hunt or a hunt that's just not going our way, like, I'm not going to scrap that content.
No.
Like, I want, I'd love for people to just be able to, again, like all of the content, I just want you to get a little sliver and just share what I'm doing, and sometimes that's awesome. Sometimes it's not.
Sometimes it's not. But we'll keep it interesting.
We'll try.
We'll keep it interesting.
Yeah, we'll try. Yeah. So anyway, I'm excited to have you along for the ride.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. This is exciting.
It's fun, and I'm having fun. And one of the coolest things, so like I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to just like I'm real like I'll tear anything I put together apart.
Yeah,
and just like critique it, right? The coolest thing so far on the content that we've been doing together is when we get done and you send it back over, I'm proud of the content.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is awesome. It's really kind of neat to be a part of that, where I can't like take it and go, I screwed that up, or I don't like that, but I don't know how to fix it.
Yeah.
Or so I'm pumped. I'm excited, and this is the beginning. So next step tomorrow. Hammering hogs, hopefully. Yep. Again, hunting. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we can only do what we know or we think is going to happen, and just
we can go to the place with the tools, fill the mags with rounds, and hope to see pigs to shoot at.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that should be interesting. That should be cool. Ultimate goal on that one, obviously, to shoot my first pigs in Texas, and then I want to provide the Christmas ham.
Yeah.
Like the Christmas roasted little pig. Like, and that I shot. Like, that's what I want. That's what I want to do.
That'd be awesome.
I know.
I wouldn't mind doing that either.
All right, we got to get a few.
Let's do it, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Get you on the trigger, too, and not just the shutter.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give you the camera.
Oh, boy. Now you're asking for trouble. I'll do my best.
Yeah.
I'll do my best. Well, cool. All right. Well, hey, thanks for hanging out with us on this episode of Josh Fralick's Addicted. We're going to throw in the show notes that Hard as Hell link for Shawn's content from a couple of years ago. Super cool piece. Hang out right here on the YouTube channel, or if you're an audio listener, jump on over to the YouTube channel and check out the bear hunt, the goose and duck hunt, and whatever else might be up on the Josh Fralick's Addicted YouTube page by the time you catch this episode. Thanks for hanging with us on Josh Fralick's Addicted.